This is something most of the other advanced countries in the world have done long since. We are lagging badly behind, and I really do hope the president's going to come out and endorse the Schuster bill, which will create something called an air navigation service provider, which is a nonprofit, independent activity that will actually manage the air traffic control system, and that will finance itself by charging fees to the airplanes that fly around in the country. And at the same time, we'll be able to sell bonds, so it will be able to finance itself long term. It'd be a huge improvement and accelerate the introduction of a new air traffic control system vastly over what has been able to happen up to now. So I'm very hopeful.
So, Phil, can you just lay out what we are expecting, the privatization of air traffic control functions of the FAA, what it means for ordinary travelers? What does it mean for the airlines who, I believe, have backed this kind of proposal before?
Right, and I think Bob laid it out pretty well there. And Bob, you can join me after I finish. Let me set it up in a general sense here. What you're looking at, as Bob said, is you're going to have the air traffic control responsibilities, which are part of the FAA right now. That's going to be pulled out of the FAA. It'll be a separate, it'll be a private entity, so to speak. But you're going to have a 13-member board that will oversee all of the air traffic control operations. They'll be able to be in charge of managing what the equipment is that needs to be put into not only the different airports, but the airlines as well. A number of these aircraft already have the updated equipment, but that's the key here. And for the flying public, the idea is that you should have a more efficient operation, not only in terms of adding technology, but ultimately this should help with easing congestion, and ultimately that should, in theory, mean you'll have fewer delays, especially in your bigger congested areas like New York, Los Angeles, Dallas at times, Chicago, and ultimately the system will run smoother. Bob, would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. I think all of those things are true. I would emphasize this is going to be a nonprofit thing. Nobody's going to make any money on it, and thus the improved performance that will flow from this will directly benefit the public. As he says, we're going to get a lot more capacity in the air traffic control system. There will be fewer delays. There'll be more flights. It's going to be, this change will make some very, very profound and favorable improvements in the air traffic control system and the airline system. And that's what the public cares about, of course, is more seats, more often on time, and cheaper.
Eamon, Javers, infrastructure is one of the big bipartisan items on the president's agenda. Everybody seems to agree that we need infrastructure improvements. But given the president's low approval ratings of late and the contentious relationship with Democrats in Congress, how do the prospects look for this?
Yeah, John, that's a good question. It's not clear that the president will have the votes to pass all of this or any of it. Let me give you two things. One is a sense of what we're going to see over the next few minutes, and then separately a sense of the legislative strategy from this White House over the next couple of months. Over the next couple of minutes here, the White House has just given us a little bit of a scheduling hiccup. We had planned on seeing the president at about 11:30 East Coast time in the East Room to announce this air traffic control piece of his agenda. They've changed that up. We're going to now see a signing ceremony in the Oval Office. The president's going to sign a letter to Congress laying out his idea here on air traffic control. Then he's going to go over to the East Room, and then he's going to do the public event. So that's why you're seeing a little bit of a delay here. Now, over the next couple of months, in terms of the strategy going forward, White House officials just briefing us, including Reed Cordish, one of the top officials inside the White House on this effort, say that they are breaking out this air traffic control piece as a separate sort of rifle shot proposal that they think can move on a separate track legislatively and be passed up on Capitol Hill. Then they say there's going to be a larger infrastructure package, the package the Trump White House has been talking about all year long. They say they still hope to have that piece done by the end of the year, and they think that only the air traffic control piece will be broken out as a separate item. The rest of all of the ideas that they come up with are going to be in that package later on this year. I asked them, so why is the White House doing Infrastructure Week this week if it doesn't have an infrastructure bill or plan to sell up on Capitol Hill with some specifics in it? They said that this is all part of drumming up attention for this issue, gathering ideas for what they want to do on infrastructure, making sure they have as much sort of bipartisan buy-in as they can get before they move that larger package later on in the year. But we still don't know what's going to be in it or sort of what direction the administration is going to take overall in the larger package. John.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.